That's not a trivial transformation. It did that, so it has some state information, and so it can write tables. Big tables tells you if this is the state, this is the action to do. Okay. However, unfortunately, even basic survival needs more than just this table. You need to know exactly, not just what the sensory information is telling you currently, but where you think you are. And figuring out where you think you are is different from what the sensors are telling you if the sensors are not not perfect. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if I can exactly see my environment, what I see is where I am. If I can only partially see my environment, put yourself in the shoes of somebody who is, who doesn't have eyesight, for example. They will have to essentially take the sequence of percepts they have had till now to figure out what their state is. So, for example, I'm not blind, as you probably can tell, and you have a stick and you're walking, and then one of the things that the stick tells you is essentially if there is an unevenness in the ground. Suppose I put the stick like this, there is an unevenness here. Where exactly am I right now? That doesn't necessarily mean that I am about to cross into the road from the pavement. It depends on where else was I in the previous instances. If I was already on the road and I'm trying to cross the road, then the unevenness might tell me that there is a pavement. If I'm here, then the unevenness may be something small. Okay? So you actually have to keep track of the state. Even people like you who have eyes keep track of state. What is blind spot in the car? The reason you have blind spot in the car is because of partial information. You don't get to see, you don't have eyes behind your head, right? And what do you do because of blind spot? You wind up looking back. But if you're all the time looking back, you don't go forward. All the beginning drivers tend to be obsessively looking back and stopping the entire traffic. So if you look back 3 milliseconds back, and you are about to change lanes, here's a hint. If nothing else came to you this car, there is a useful hint. You don't need to look again. In 3 milliseconds, things don't fall from sky. In the environment that we live in. If you are into your computer games environment, anything can happen in 3 milliseconds. But on the rural road, things don't just come out of nowhere in 3 milliseconds. So we basically use the previous percept sequence to figure out the current state. That turns out is what's called the state estimation problem, and that's what makes me reconstruct exactly where I am with higher accuracy than is